Hey, how you doing? You're now listening to The Green Light, and I'm your host, just some guy named Jay. And basically, what this podcast is about is talking about movie ideas and television and movie ideas and things like that. Um, and just basically just sharing creativity and also giving information on people who have creative ideas and things like that. And in this installment of the podcast, what we're going to do is talk about a possible Chris Dorner movie. um, After the situation that just happened. Now, before I even get into that, I just want to start off by saying, I'm going to put a little disclaimer at the beginning of this. I do not condone the killing of innocent people at all. I'm not for that. Now I know. Now I'm not for. That's on either side. That's for cops killing civilians, or civilians killing cops. I'm not for killing. I don't think any of this is justifiable. Um, even if you believe in Dorner's cause, there's better ways he could have went about doing this, other than taking lives. He did. I mean, people saying, well, he got his point across. He got a point across, of course, but I don't think this is going to change anything. If anything, it's going to make the LAPD or officers tighten up and just keep the corruption going, or just they find tighter ways to stay corrupt, if anything. But he did make a mark, though. I will say that. But also, like I said, before I even get into the meat of this podcast, I just want to just reiterate, say, look, I don't condone killing innocent people. And I'm not here to make light of the tragic situation of his death and the death of the four people that he killed, and the families and the innocent people that were involved and all this. I'm not here to make light of that. I'm actually, I mean, this didn't turn out good at all in any kind of way. Even though Chris Dorner was killed at the end of the was killed. I don't feel good about any of this, but I'm not. Let's put that aside. Let me exercise my free speech and get to this podcast. All right, and also too, before I discuss the movie idea, I just want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to one of the largest email blast distribution lists on the web today, the Giant Blast, with over 100,000 email accounts subscribed. Not only is it a large email blast newsletter for entertainment, they also do marketing and promotions for rising indie bands, singers, and rappers. So if you're in a band, or if you're a singer, a vocalist, a rapper, and you want to get your music out with a real good PR firm, you should definitely email the Giant Blast, and they can help you out. They can do more than just do email blast campaigns. They really actually hands on and get the artist music out there. And not only for artists or any people who are creative, but also for people who have a service to provide, or you have a small business and you're looking to advertise and increase revenue and get more people checking out your service. You should also check out the Giant Blast. An email blast is a good way to increase revenue and increase awareness for your product or service. So the Giant Blast, check them out. I'm going to put the information in the information box below. So if anyone's interested in that, you can check check that out. All right, now let me go into the Chris Dorner movie here. Now Hollywood, they're already saying that Hollywood is already buzzing and talking about putting together scripts and things like that. And actually, what happened? This kind of unfolded like a kind of a crazy movie. Even though it was reality. I mean, it just hearing about the events on the news. It just seemed like a crazy drama. Now if they do the movie, I think a good title for it should be called The Manifesto. I didn't read all of Chris Dorner's Manifesto. I kind of, so I can't give too much opinions on too much things here, but I'm just going based on the limited information I do have, and things like that. But yeah, I think Manifesto would be a good title for it, of course. Maybe one of the, working good title for it. And if they do decide to just go ahead and green light and do this movie, it's going to be based on a lot of fiction. Especially since Dorner isn't alive, since the cops weren't able to, arrest him and things like that. They killed him. Dorner's not going to get a chance to really speak any actor that's going to play him, I guess, can't get a too accurate impersonation of him. So a lot of the movie will be based on, I guess, fiction and little thrown together little news bites. But I mean, I guess a lot of these movies are like that, though. It's not going to be 100% accurate. And plus they have to be entertaining as well. Even though nothing about this was, it wasn't entertaining. And like I said, I don't want to make light of a dark situation, but come on. I mean, this is, they've made movies about worser events, with more deaths than the 5 people that were killed. So I could definitely see, because they're already talking about doing this already. Even before Chris Dorner was killed in the cabin, they were talking about people were putting out the word of possibly putting together a movie centered around this whole situation here. So don't kill the messenger here. I'm not, trying, like I said, it's not, 100% something that I'm saying, I'm just putting my 2 cents onto the idea that's already out there. Also, too, since Dorner's no longer, with us, I think they're going to leave out I bet you if they did do the movie, they'd leave out a lot of the stuff that was, about the LAPD being corrupt. I mean, we already know about corrupt cops and the things that go on, and police brutality and race and the racism. We already know about this stuff. But Chris Dorner, he was naming names and putting things out there. So that if they do decide to go further with this idea, that they're not going to put a lot of that in the movie, or they're going to flip it some kind of way to where it's they're not going to make the LAPD look that bad. What else I'd like to say? Also too, about Chris Dorner, well, however you say his name, being fired, from the LAPD and things like that, and then he going on this rampage. This was not the way to do it. I know, you can't really say that now because what's done is done, and even, but I just want to, give my opinion on this. This was definitely not the way to go about it. What Chris Dorner should have did was, after he was fired, I mean, yeah, maybe write some of the things he said in the manifesto, not about the, any kind of gory details about killing people and things like that. But Chris Dorner, what he should have did was he should have gotten up with Gloria Allred, had a good little press conference, had him talking his stuff, had him crying or something, or have him kissing a baby or something, and talking about, I'm just trying to do the right thing, and exposing the LAPD, try to get some kind of settlement money, and then go live on an island somewhere. That's what Chris Dorner should have did. Or Chris Dorner should have talked to every media outlet he could about his situation. Try to write a little press conference. Write a little press release. Try to get as many people to hear his story as he can without killing anybody. Now I know, I mean, he definitely got heard since blood was shed, and I know a lot of people were thinking, well, if he would have went to any kind of government office and spoke about this, nobody would have listened. They would have been like, whatever. He wouldn't have made a change. But I'm saying, I mean, that at least no one would have gotten killed, and at least Dorner would have got to see another day. And if he really wanted to get revenge on the LAPD, what he should have done was shrug his shoulders and try to get another job, a better job, better than the one that he had at the LAPD. Or started, try to, I know it's hard to get a job right now, but for most people, but I would have tried to put my nose to the grindstone, or whatever the phrase is, and just try to make as much money as I possibly can, and try to be successful, more successful than the chief of police. That's what he should have tried to do. Because if you want to kill somebody, the best way to kill them is being more successful than they are. You know, Chris Dorner should have just grinded out. You know, and he should have said, you know what, I got fired. Okay, I'm hurt, and he should have bounced back. And then, you know, when he became successful, also just, you know, throw the LAPD under the bus and tell his opinion. You know, and give his and you know, and speak on these other media outlets. I mean, he could have wrote a blog or something. Somebody would have heard it. And I mean, there's all kind of conspiracy theorists out here that would have definitely been around, you know, jumped on his cause. Not just conspiracy theorists, but people who are also, you know, family members or victims themselves of people who've been you know, wrongfully hurt by the police, you know, or a victim of police brutality. You know, a lot of people would have definitely signed on to what he had to say, you know, without actually having to kill innocent people to do it, you know. But I mean, everybody was in the wrong. I mean, the LAPD, Chris Dorner, everybody was messed up, you know. But they were not the innocent people that got killed, though. You know, they were innocent. You know, you have to go out to the family members and the family members and the associates of people that you feel that are corrupt, because that's definitely not gonna change anything. You know. But anyway, getting back on the subject of the movie, you know who I think would be a good person to play Chris Dorner? LL Cool J. You know, because looking at the pictures, Chris Dorner kind of looks like a you know, a less polished version of LL Cool J a little bit. You know, maybe a more out of shape version of LL. You know, and I could definitely, and LL Cool J definitely has the talent and the chops to deliver a role like this. He definitely can carry a movie by himself. You know, even though he's not headlining any movies right now, he's you know, he is on television, but LL Cool J could definitely pull this off, I think. And Charlie Sheen, I think Charlie Sheen should be cast in the movie some kind of way, especially since Charlie Sheen tried to reach out to Chris Dorner before he was killed in the cabin. You know, not Charlie Sheen playing himself, but Charlie Sheen actually playing a character in the movie. Maybe a crooked cop or something. Who knows? But yeah. But you know, I guess, you know, Hollywood will definitely get to tell Chris Dorner's story for him. But, you know, Chris Dorner, he's not going to be able to, you know, I guess you know, unless they take things straight out of the Manifesto, you know, and what information they find out about Chris Dorner himself. Because since he's dead, he's not going to get the tell on anybody anymore. But also, too, what are your opinions on this? Do you think this will make a good movie? Do you think that Hollywood should definitely leave this alone? Because, you know, the movie's not going to come out next week or anything. But but definitely they're already talking about working on some things. I mean, not a lot of concrete information is out right now, but still, you know, I mean, this is bubbling around already. So, what are your opinions? Feel free to post your opinions and post your comments down below. I'll try to respond to everybody. You know, also feel free if you want to make a response video. That's cool as well. You know, just you know, share your thoughts. Or who do you think should be cast in the movie, or do you think they should leave this alone? Or if you just want to talk about the situation yourself, because I know there's a lot of Facebook pages that were made in support of Chris Dorner. So I mean, maybe one of you guys could step up and say something, you know. But that's all I'd like to say. Again, I'm just some guy named Jay, and you've been listening to The Green Light.